All right, so tonight I'm going to talk about how I use Chat GPT to screen candidates and their resumes by feeding Chat GPT a resume and the job description. So I have a very detailed SOP for my delivery consultants on how to do this process. So you might want to, I'm going to scroll through it. You might want to slow the video down, take screenshots, however you can. But I have very detailed information on how I complete this process. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to give ChatGPT the job description. So here's a sample input. This is a real job that I used to teach them. I'm going to copy that into ChatGPT. So I give it the job description first. And I'm telling ChatGPT that I want it to rate the candidate's resume according to the job description. So once I feed it the job description, I come back in and I feed the person's resume into the system. I have blocked out this person's information for the sake of this exercise, but I will add this right into the prompt and I'll hit enter. And I will allow ChatGPT to kick out the information. So there it goes. This is required for each submission that is put on my calendar every night before the night before. One of the things that I do the day prior is I check my calendar and I check for certain things for each submission. So in order for somebody to qualify to be placed on my calendar for a screening, a telephone screening with me specifically, I want to make sure that my delivery consultants have vetted that person. I want to make sure that whatever requirements my client is seeking, the person meets. And one thing that this rating system does is it allows me to get an idea of exactly how the person rates as it pertains to the role, but it also gives me some speaking points because if it tells me that something is missing, then I'm able to, when I talk to the person, go ahead and ask them about it. Or if it's just completely out of alignment, I will go back to my delivery consultant and say, hey, it actually doesn't appear that this person is qualified. Can you tell me what it is that made you think they were? Or if they just flat out aren't, I'll take them off of my schedule. I will decline the invite. So here is the output for this particular position. And overall, ChatGPT is saying that this person has the experience for the role. So that's just at the entry level of what I look for. Now, what's required in order for them to put somebody on the calendar? I have them do a couple of things. I have them to create a meeting, but I have them make sure that they don't invite the candidate to the meeting because anything we put in the notes for the meeting, the candidate would be able to see if we invited them. So this calendar entry is just for me to see and for the delivery consultant via the email address that I've assigned for them. They put it on my calendar. I go in, look at it, and accept it. So let's just take this one. They are supposed to put the what the meeting is about. So a screening, the position, the location of the position, and then in parentheses they put my name, their name, because it's two of them. So I want to know which one completed this if I have any questions about a candidate. And they'll put the first name of the candidate. Then down here in the notes, I'm not going to scroll down there because I don't want to give key details about my candidates. Inside the body of the invite, they have the person's resume attached. They have the job description and they have the screening, this Chat GPT screening. That way I have everything I need directly in front of me when actually before I do the screenings. What this allows me to do in particular the night before is I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at all of these that they've placed on my calendar, and I'm just going to make sure that the person truly qualifies before I talk to them. I don't want to waste my time. There are certain things that we watch out for. For example, with this particular client, they don't want anybody that's already interviewing with them. As you know, if you're an agency and somebody is working with a client is working with multiple agencies, pretty much whoever submits that candidate first has the right to represent that candidate. So sometimes when you have a whole bunch of agencies working on the same client, you have double submissions. So one of the things that we always check for and what we ask the candidate is, have they applied with this client already? If so, when? If it's in the last year, we're not going to submit them. We're not going to represent them. Obviously, if they're interviewing with other agencies, we're just not going to proceed. And this particular candidate is very clear that they don't want to basically entertain anyone who has worked for them within the past year. So I have a candidate profile sheet too that each candidate is supposed to complete. So they complete that. My delivery consultants look over it. And if there's anything in there that says they've already interviewed with my client, they're already interviewing with my client, or anything that says we would not be able to submit them, anything that gives us the hint of that, we look a little bit deeper and we decide whether or not we're going to file them away or go forward with them. So every night I look at these just to be sure that the delivery consultant put qualified people only on my calendar. I reject some of these every day for whatever reason that I find that it's just not beneficial for my agency to contact the person. They may not have certain certifications. They may have licensure issues, different reasons why I may not decide to proceed with a particular submission. So I have a lot of screening processes in place that kind of cut down on who makes it to the calendar. Some things come through the cracks sometimes, but for the most part, we're able to catch them. So right now, you see, I have 5 screenings set up for tomorrow. My lead consultant, she did 4 of them, and then my other consultant did another. One thing about my girls, they it's Sunday for me, Sunday night. So it's Monday morning right now for them. But they were working. Sometimes they work through the weekend. They work at night. Like, I'm very flexible with their schedules. So Rain, she was working. I woke up to messages from her this morning on Sunday morning. So that would have been Sunday night for her. So she's trying to get ahead of her day. I'm perfectly fine with it. They know what they're doing. Once they get these people screened, they may go through 30, 40, 50 different candidates for one role. And only this many people actually make it to my calendar for submission. It takes a lot of sourcing work up front. As you can see here, this is 5 different positions. Right now, we are actively sourcing for about 40 something positions. So in a particular state. So each one of them is assigned 20 something roles, and they're actively working them. They're probably going to get assigned more roles tomorrow because roles get put on hold for whatever reason. They get job orders get canceled, and then new job orders get added. So it's a constant sourcing process. So if I just, like I said, if I go back for the week, you can see all the screenings that I have on my calendar. This is a part of the function that I have not decided to delegate yet, because as I said in another video, I had a lady who, sometimes people are off put, candidates are off put by anybody that has a slight accent. So for me, when my delivery consultants are interacting as me on LinkedIn, Indeed, etc., those people think they're talking to me. So when I get on the phone, or if my delivery consultant got on the phone, they're going to be able to tell that the Black woman that they saw, whose picture they saw on Indeed, is not matching the voice of this person on the phone. So for that reason, I have chosen to be at the front of the screening initiative. At some point, I've started letting them shadow me on calls, being that they don't live in the United States. Sometimes they're not clear on what a position is. I remember when I first assigned them some registered nurse roles, some new graduate registered nurse roles to source for, they started trying to bring me ARNPs, the advanced registered nurse practitioners. And I had to go back and explain to them, like, hey, no, those types of nurses are not going to be interested in a new graduate position. I have training documents in place, very detailed training documents in place on just how to evaluate a job description. But in the meantime, I do the screenings for myself. That's something that I'm just not ready to delegate that yet. And to be honest, that is something that kind of precludes me from totally stepping away from the business and being something that I work on, not in. So in the future, I may delegate that. But for now, I like doing my own screenings. Um, that's just my process. But delivery consultants, if you train them properly, they're capable of doing it. Okay. So tomorrow, every day, the night before, I look at what my next day looks like. And one of the main things I look at the night before is how many screenings I got, who they are, whether or not they truly belong on my calendar. Because if I see something that tells me I have no reason to call that person, I'm gonna cancel it, send it back, put my notes in, and tell why, and take them off of my calendar. I'm not here to just sit on the phone and chit chat with people. Not at this stage. So as you can see, my morning is pretty clear. Um, but I tell them also to schedule my screenings between the hours of 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. However, if you have a candidate that needs to have a early screening or something after hours, we're able to accommodate that. But for the most part, they know what times I've made myself available, particular. And Chat GPT is an integral part of the screening process for me. Okay. So the steps for that, you're just going to basically copy the job description, the raw job description. You're going to tell ChatGPT to give you a rating, and then you're going to feed in the candidate's resume, and it will more than likely, if you do it right, if you do the right input, it will give you an output that produces a rating system for that resume directly correlating to the job description. So drop down in the comments. Let me know if this is helpful for you or if you need more details on this particular process. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a good night.